They went very close last year, didn't they? They might go one better in 1994. We'll be back shortly with Great Britain versus Western Samoa. Again, the World 7's of Rugby League. Western Samoa. They played great football here last year. They made the semi-finals. They went down to the eventual winners, Eastern Suburbs. And there's their team for the tournament this year. And of course, this is the first time a combined Great Britain side has been down here. We've had Wigan as champions 2 years ago. And now Jonathan Davies takes out the representative Great Britain side. A lot of the names are probably familiar to Australian Rugby League viewers. Those that obviously would spring to mind immediately are Steadman, Jonathan Davies himself, Lee Jackson, Phil Clark, Lee Jackson. They're all players that have been on down here and toured with Great Britain. It's quite a good side. They appear in Pool H. Great Britain, Western Samoa, and the third side is Canberra. McCallum, the man in charge. $11.30 Great Britain on the New South Wales footy tab. And Western Samoa, $55.10.
A shame, of course, that Great Britain did have quite a few players drop out of this squad. Martin Offier, the most notable. Sean Edwards, the captain, also out with the shoulder injury, and Paul Newlove, the centre, Great Britain centre, moving house this week. Looks like he might be reprimanded back home for not making the trip.
So from right to left runs the Great Britain side. The Samoans in almost the exact opposite strip. The royal blue with the red, white and blue. And they showed us last year, these lads from Samoa, that they can play football, believe me. It's Tui Samoa. And now this big lanky fellow and a speedster, Des Meyer. Oh, he'll score! Big swallow dive in, that's a 9.5.
9.5, is it what? And this is a bit of a shock now. The Great Britain side, 10-1 they are, and the Western Samoans 50s. And look at this, big powerful man, Des Meyer, beat one tackle, and St John Ellis gives chase, the number 2, and a too much start. So good try there to the Western Samoans.
Yeah, it's amazing looking at the physique of these Western Samoans. They're big men, but they great speed, and that's a successful conversion. 6 points to nil in favour of Western Samoa. And we can't underestimate this side. Great Britain strong favourites, but they'll have a real test here.
Sidelines, Gary Belcher. Yes, Gary?
Yeah, Great Britain should be confident in this, and they're favourites because of their superior match fitness, but hey, they're really going to have to snap out of that one. Western Samoa, a great start.
You reckon they're in for a shock?
I think they are. The Samoans beat us pretty well last year, and they're a nice, tough side.
Steadman. Davies. Welshman Jonathan Davies, and I still think they call it Davis rather than Davies over there. Steadman kicks ahead. That turns the Samoans around. They get only an average bounce.
Yeah, that was a very ordinary set of 6 there from Great Britain. Really pedestrian. The kick from Graham Steadman put no pressure on. There was a lot of cover defence there for Western Samoa. Had to be deeper into the in-goal area to try and get the ball back. They look a little bit lethargic, the Great Britain side.
Well, they look as though they don't want to be here, don't they? And no one wanted to go forward in that set of 6. That's a nice tackle, though, by Lee Jackson.
Samoans working it across the halfway mark. They take it down inside the 20 through Lamatia. Oh, and Tui Samoa, he gets the 4-pointer. He laid it on. He supported on the inside, and reap the reward.
Yes, Western Samoa, they've only had the ball twice, and this is their second try. Gee, they look good. Nice cover defence here by Phil Clark. That was a poor attempted tackle by Alan Tate. And to Samoa, lovely to see.
Well, the Great Britain player who was on the wing there was beaten all ends up and then stood there and watched the play continue on another 30 or 40 metres. So he didn't want to be here. Fortunately for Great Britain, the conversion attempt was unsuccessful. And Jonathan Davis, who took the tap there, has got to get something going. Phil Clark might be just a man to spark this side.
Conversion attempt was unsuccessful from a leaky Maya. Paul Medley. In and away for John Bentley. Just outside the 20-metre grid now. Opponent's end of the ground, and the penalty goes to Great Britain. They take it quickly. Davies lofted out, ill-directed. Not waiting to put things together. There's no construction in what they're doing.
Yes, not good there from the Pommies. Certain try went begging. There was no defence out there, and really very inept display here by the Great Britain players.
Yeah, it was the right option taken by John Bentley to take the quick tap. The pass went astray, but I even thought there, Louis Jackson, who I've got a big rap on as a player, didn't show a great deal of urgency when the ball went over his head to try and keep it in play anyway. There's just no enthusiasm or urgency in the Great Britain play at the moment.
Mayer. Oh, that's got to be a penalty. No, he's ruled that he was in front of him, or wasn't in front of him, I should say. Now, this big man, Des Mayer, tries to do it again. Put down a penalty to them.
He milked it nicely too. It was a great play, the ball. But he did look up at the referee, almost willing the decision. And McCallum obliged.
Tap about 7 metres on their own side of halfway. Lani Latoa. Mayer scored the first try. There's two of them, Des, and the other fellow's called a leaky. Probably Alec, I'm not sure. But this is big Des now.
There's a minute 10 left on the clock here. They can score again before half-time. Might be too much of a lead. It won't be the case. The pass went behind the support player. Great Britain have got just under a minute to get points on the board here and to get back into this game.
I'd say one thing at this stage, and I don't know whether he can play or not, but there's no doubt that he's got plenty of ability. The 6 for Western Samoa, Matthew Tui Samoa. Just looking at the way he moves, the way he passes, the way he steps. He's obviously been involved in one of the rugby codes for quite some time. And he's the man that's engineering whatever's happening out there for the Samoans. I can't believe their price on footy tab for a beaten semi-finalist last year. And it took the cup winners, Eastern Suburbs, to beat them then. This is mid. Through the hands of Pearson, and dropped onto the boot then for the clear by Steadman. A very deep kick. One of the Great Britain players is coming so fast. This is St. John Ellis. Oh, St. John. St. John. He gets the try.
Well, unfortunately for Great Britain, St. John Ellis did not know that there wasn't a Western Samoan player within 20 metres of him. So he's made it a little bit more difficult, the conversion attempt, and that 2 points might make a difference. But he showed enormous speed to get there. Graham Steadman putting the kick down. The nearest Samoan player is that man you see in the background there sitting on the ground. And I don't know if the kick had been any closer, whether it would have made any difference.
10 points to 4. I've heard a lot about this winger from Great Britain, St. John Ellis. It's him on the left. He's the man that came in to replace Martin Offia. He's got plenty of toe. And at the break, 10-4 in favour of the Samoans. Football headquarters. 9 Network covering for you the Coca-Cola World Sevens. Western Samoa 10, leading Great Britain 4. It's been a disappointing Great Britain to this point in time. Really going to have to pull their socks right up if they're going to trouble Western Samoa, who've looked a class unit. This has been a pretty good run and a good break made by Chris Joint. Near the 40-metre line, his own end. Now Medley spins it back inside. And Martin Pearson is through the gap. They won't catch him. They're not making any impression. And Martin Pearson gets the second try for the Great Britain side. Now they're coming back.
Yes, that's a lot better play from the Great Britain side. Actually put a couple of passes together. Nice ball there. And they missed some poor defence really from the Western Samoa side. This Martin Pearson plays with the Featherstone club over in England. And they reckon he's a real goer and a possible chance to be the next Test 5-8.
Conversion successful. 10 points all. The British, considered to be one of the favourites for the tournament, haven't shown us very much so far. Tatupu.
If they can get away with this game, it might not be a bad way to start the tournament. This will have just woken them up as to how tough it's going to be. Here's a pass.
Oh, put down. Oh, that was a snatch of a pass.
Yeah, Tatupu getting a good ball away to Tony Chuimavave. And if he'd have held that, he would have scored.
Sidelines, Gary Belcher.
Yeah, Rabs, the to and froms are certainly going to have to wake up to themselves. If they do get away with this game, they've got Canberra tomorrow night, and that won't be an easy one.
Callum gives the penalty to Great Britain.
Tough to retire behind a 3-man scrum, but that's the ruling from Greg McCallum. See the Western Samoan player at the scrum base giving the necessary room to his opposing player. Just under 5 minutes to go, 10 points all. Great Britain will need to score now to exert their superiority on this game.
Through 4 sets of hands. They get it wide. Western Samoa number 7, Peter Lima, made to look bad in defence. Bentley spun wide now across the field through the hands of the number 10, which is Phil Clark. Good player, Clark. Not that any of them have shown too much so far. I see in the papers they were making it known that they were all available to play in Sydney. Lee Jackson it was who paved the way for the go-ahead by Chris Joint. Just in what they've done so far, they wouldn't be attracting too big a sum of money. Good tackle that. Bentley cut down. Tackler was Tuamavi. Tate turning it back, picked up by Davies. Covering plenty of territory, running from one side to the other, then turning and coming back. Well, this is about the 4th time he's done it. And now he's brought a penalty against his side. There's been a shepherd laid on him.
Well, he was trying to position his players around him into space, and I thought he did it once or twice and then turned around and ran back the other way. He actually created an overlap on the far side and then headed back.
I think what he's trying to do, Pete, as the Fijians do so well, he was trying to suck a couple of defenders up to him to bring them up out of the line, but my God, it was a zigzag anyway.
Well, if you have a look there, if the player who came inside had stayed outside, Davis had created a 2-on-1, so he didn't get a great deal of support from his teammates.
The problem was none of his fellow players got back on side with him. They all stood in front of him. That was why the penalty was given. 10 all.
10 all is right. 3 minutes to go exactly. The Samoans hoping to repeat what they did last year. They defeated Penrith in the first round, then they beat North, then they beat Canberra, and Gary Belcher remembers that, and then they went out in the semis to Eastern Suburbs. Here's their chance.
And for mine, the next point scorer wins the game.
Tatupu tries to do it himself. Chris Joint around the legs. Up the top was Lee Jackson. The Samoans go to the right, and it's to Samoa, and wider, and Maya gets his second try. Not as good as Swallow Dive, but the same scoreline.
This has been one of their best. Des Maya, the number 3, had a great game. Well set up by Samoa, and he's got it's another good dive.
We'll just have a look at Jonathan Davis, if we can, in defence. He got caught out in defence so poorly there. as the conversion attempt about to be attempted, which will wrap this game up. But Jonathan Davis was so poor in defence there for an experienced player.
Attempted conversion by Chewy Marvey.
Jonathan Davis was the number 4. He just reacted. He didn't realise that there were 2 players outside him on one man, and by the time he'd reacted, the bird had flown.
Callum calling timeout. 14-10 in favour of the Western Samoans.
Marcelo's gone off early. He's declared Samoans the winner.
He certainly did with 1.5 to go. Long time coming, waiting for him to be proven wrong, but the little fella's gone off here. Can the to and froms come back? Jonathan Davies is trying hard. He gets under and away from Famano.
Oh.
Put down and picked up by Aliki Maya.
Oh, he's a genius, hello.
Lumasia. Peter Lima is the 7. No knock on, was it? Yes, it was. Called by Greg McCallum. I thought it might have come off the boot.
So 50 seconds remain.
Could be a crucial decision, this one.
Can Great Britain pull this out of the fire? They've got the feed. Was there a knock on at the scrum base? No. Callum gives them the feed again.
Oh, second row feed.
Well, there's nearly got to be a penalty for breaking out of the scrum too early, and he has pinched in Tony Tuamavi. A chance now for Great Britain. 20 seconds to go. They kick ahead off the boot of Stedman. St. John Ellis is coming from nowhere, and it's a try!
Oh, he got him, Rabs. Hang on, they haven't been beaten yet. 8 seconds to go. Kick to come, and the way Jonathan Davis has hit them today. No, Graham Stedman may step up here.
Sterling has put the hex on Western Samoa.
Hang on. It's not over yet.
Yeah, nice try. Carbon copy of the first half when Stedman kicked through.
Here's a great decision.
St. Ellis. Graham Stedman. Come on, son. Oh, genius.
He's missed. Extra time.
The try for St. John Ellis. Here's the conversion attempt. And just across the face of the upright. So extra time is on us. 14 all. And the last team in possession to feed the scrum, that would be Great Britain. I guess they'd be declared the last team in possession. And the first team to score points wins the game. I noticed that the men in blue, the constabulary, have come out. I don't know whether they think the match is over, but at the moment there's 3 of them inside the 20-metre zone.
Oh, they've got one against the feed, Western Samoa.
That makes you happy? This is the fellow that really is the impressive player, Matthew to Samoa. Now, Tatupu steps nicely. Des Maya put away by Stedman. Inside the 20. I wonder do they realise a drop goal can win them the game. Lumasia. Just watching McCallum count down the tackles. I think we're on 4 now. Tatupu. Down she goes, but Des Maya's with it. Slowly but surely, Des Maya plays the ball. Kicked ahead there by the number 2, Aliki Maya. 6 more tackles. Wide. Lumasia scores for the Samoans. They win the match.
Of course they win the match. It was never in doubt. And coincidentally, it was a similar try to what we saw from Great Britain with St. John Ellis scoring 2 from kicks. A fortunate bounce. I was very surprised that McCallum allowed this man to get up and play on. I thought he was held there. So did the Great Britain players. Mardia comes back. Scores under the post. Makes no difference whether the kick is successful. They've won the game.
So Western Samoa, they always look the better team. And they've defeated the Great Britain side 18 points to 14. big effort there. As I said, they made the semis last year. Let's go down to Gary Belcher now.
Grabs on the sideline. I've got Jonathan Davies. Jonathan, tired, overconfident. The heat, what was it?
Not overconfident. We started slowly, and we were on a catch-up game. We could have won it with a conversion, but unfortunately we lost the ball on the head, and they scored. So another game tomorrow.
Now, a minute ago you mentioned the heat. For us over here, it feels like a cool night. You're feeling the heat, are you?
Yeah, when you come from when it's 4 degrees back home, it's rather a shock to the system. But no excuses. They played well, and maybe they deserve to win.
Now, can you get it together for tomorrow's game against the Raiders?
Yeah, Canberra's going to be a difficult game. We know what it's about now, so hopefully we can beat them.
Good luck, thanks.
Gary Belcher on the sidelines with Jonathan Davies. And of course, there were other matches played here on the opening night of the tournament, and we'll have the highlights of just about all of them coming up after this break.